to round 4 of competition in the new PBA League. 8 5-man teams featuring the world's best bowlers, with each team owned by some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment. On top of the standings, Billie Jean King's New York City WTT Kingpins, who've made their 4th straight final. Meanwhile, Jerome Bettis' Motown Muscle, the team that defeated the Kingpins last week, may miss today's final entirely. Joining those two teams here at Detroit's Thunderbolt Lanes, Chris Paul's LAX, Carol Owens' Dallas Strikers, Kevin Hart's Philadelphia Hitmen, Chris Hardwick's Silver Lake Adams Splitters, Lamar Woodley's Pittsburgh Jackrabbits, and Jesse Williams' Brooklyn Styles. It's team versus team competition with the goal of capturing the season-ending Elias Cup. Welcome to the PBA Winter Swing from Thunderbolt Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan. I'm Lon McCarron with Randy Peterson. Another full slate today, beginning with the PBA League Clash, followed by a 4-team Baker format stepladder competition, capped off with a crowning of an individual titleist in the Don Carter Classic. And what a matchup we have for you. Jason Sterner back in the TV finals against Wes Malott, Randy.
Well, the last time we saw Jason Sterner, it was his first time on television at this season's World Series of Bowling. He'll have his hands full with former Player of the Year, Wes Malott.
The Brooklyn Styles are the team to beat as the #1 seed. The New York City WTT Kingpins hold down the 2nd seed, and the Silver Lake Adams Splitters will take on the team which wins the upcoming clash. As we take a look at the clash lineup, 11 bowlers for the teams that are not on the stepladder, trying to earn their way to the 4th spot on that team stepladder. And as you notice, the Strikers from Dallas have 4 players, all at the bottom of the lineup of the clash. And Norm Duke is here with JT Action Jackson to describe his strategy.
So, Norm, we noticed that you have 4 of your players at the end of the order. We just want to know, what was your strategy for that?
Yeah, I got all 4 players at the end. First of all, if we're looking at a 6 count, I want always to be last so I can throw it straight down the middle and have a free ride. Lastly, in this format, if 3 guys are tied at 9 and they're the lowest man, we may have our last guy throw one out the window just to keep 3 in and take 1 out. Because if that 4th bowler is to bowl 9, we're all out in 1 shot. So I think we get more options this way is all.
Sounds like you got it under control. Good luck.
The highest seeded team from qualifying allowed to put 4 bowlers in the clash. That is the Dallas Strikers. The next highest team has 3 bowlers and so on. Each bowler throws 1 ball per frame. The low pin count and ties will be eliminated until one man stands alone, earning his team the 4th rung in the stepladder team finals. Mike Scroggins, the first man to go from the Motown Muscle in this PBA League Clash.
Honestly, I think that's excellent strategy by Norm Duke and the rest of his team.
He's got his thinking cap on. Scroggins comes out with an 8 count, so that is where the bar is set for the other 10 bowlers. If they can beat the 8 count, Scroggins will be the one out in here in the first frame.
And Scroggins not the only southpaw in this clash. You also have Parker Bone III and Rhino Page, as you see that shot coming in just a little light.
So this clash to determine which team will be, for lack of a better term, Randy, the wild card on the stepladder finals. Mike Devaney now from the Philadelphia Hitmen. Solid bowler.
Well, on it also helps your team, or gives your team a chance to accumulate more all-important points as these teams eye their way to Indianapolis and a chance at winning the Elias Cup.
Absolutely. The higher your finish, of course, the more points your team earns. A maximum of 12 at the top of each stepladder. Osku Palermo from the Pittsburgh Jackrabbits, who have 2 players. Another 9, and Osku is safe. Here's a look at the standings coming into today's competition. The New York City WTT Kingpins with a 5-point lead over the Motown Muscle, followed by the Brooklyn Styles and the Philadelphia Hitmen. Remember, after 5 rounds, only the top 4 will travel to Indianapolis in April to compete for the season-ending Elias Cup. Here's Parker Bone III for the LAX. And a 9 for Parker, so he'll be sticking around. Interesting that the 3 LAX players you see here in the clash were all in last weekend's USBC Masters final. Bone, who finished 4th, eventual runner-up Wes Malott, and the man who took it all down, Jason Belmonte. Up next for the Jackrabbits, Canadian Dan McClellan. Dan, a native of Windsor, Ontario. McClellan with our first strike of the clash. Big Wes Malott now from Pflugerville, Texas. And we will see Malott later on in this show in singles action, trying to bounce back from his USBC Masters loss in the Don Carter Classic title match. He'll go up against Jason Sterner later today. Malott needs 9 or better. So what do you got? Jason Belmonte, Wes's teammate today, but last Sunday they were adversaries in a thrilling title match at the USBC Masters. It all came down to the 10th frame where Belmo was perfect, capping off a 6-bagger. That meant Malott would also have to strike out in the 10th in order to win. Wes got the first one, but would leave the 3-6-10 on his second ball, earning the title for Belmonte. The final score, 258-245. The Masters, the first major championship of Jason Belmonte's career. And the Masters champion stays alive with a 9.
Tried to ring 10 on that one.
He tried to ring 10 on that one.
A lot of 10 pins early.
And another former Masters champion comes up now. This is 2003 winner Brian Smith for the Dallas Strikers as we near the bottom of the order. Opens up a little extra strategy for the franchise player. Strike from Smith. And so Scroggins, the first one out of the gate, remains the man on the bubble with his 8 count. Scroggins could only sit and watch as his fate envelops in front of him with Rhino Page, Norm Duke, and Amleto Monticelli to bowl for Dallas. Dallas teammates enjoying their owner's company here this week. Terrell Owens, NFL great. Rhino Page has been good in this format. Come on. There's Terrell, a huge bowling fan. Shows up early, stays late, signs autographs, visits with the fans. He's a great promoter of the game.
Boy, talk about inspiration. Just having him on your bench has got to be something pretty special for these players.
And he's learning more about the game, too. That's what he's in it for, I think. Norm Duke, franchise player. And he gives Scroggins new life. Scroggins will stay alive into frame 2 after that 7 from Duke.
Well, getting back to Norm's strategy, now the strategy for Monticelli would be to get either less than 7 and keep Norm in, or get more than 7.
You don't want to lose 2 players if at all possible. If he does throw 7, they're both gone. Low pin count and ties. Good ball. That's all 10. Franchise player Norm Duke knocked out. So Dallas now with 3 players. Examples of Roman Baroque architecture in the United States is the Motor City's Wayne County building, completed in 1902. And surviving is what this clash is all about here at the PBA League Don Carter Classic. The team of the last man standing will advance to today's stepladder final. While we were gone, 6 more players went to the sidelines, including Masters champion Jason Belmonte, as well as his LAX teammate Parker Bone III. The Dallas Strikers had already lost Norm Duke in round 1, and Brian Smith would follow his fellow striker to the sidelines with this 8. And things just got worse for the strikers. Amleto Monticelli was the next to be eliminated, followed by the last remaining striker in the clash, Rhino Page.
That lane, I'll tell you.
And following the Dallas Strikers out the door was Pittsburgh Jackrabbit Dan McClellan with a 6.
So Motown, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and LAX bowlers left, all trying to vanquish this man. Motown Muscles Mike Scroggins.
Come on. Yeah.
The Scroggins bump.
Yeah. And the only southpaw left, and that's, I feel, a big advantage. As long as Mike Scroggins can do what he likes to do, he's not going to see a lot of transition. As he bumps that weak 7 late, pulls the string.
Devaney now.
Good shot. Bad result.
Well, if there's one guy who can make you pay for your mistake, it's the guy on the approach right now from the Pittsburgh Jackrabbits, Osku Palermo. And Osku comes up with a strike. Yeah, he knew it. He was walking away.
Well, and it had to be 10 or he was going to get knocked out with Mike Devaney.
Devaney with the 9 count there is eliminated. The hitmen have no men left. And now we are left with 3.
Scroggy, Osku, Malat. Boy, at the start of this man here got off to a pretty rocky start. We didn't think he'd be around this long.
You didn't think he'd be around this long.
Wow. Let's see, he bowls for Motown. Jerome Bettis, the bus. Oh, yeah, that thing you just threw me under.
Scroggins with a strike in the 10th. He's not going anywhere.
Apparently not. Didn't know you were clairvoyant, Lon.
Oh, no, don't hand it to me yet.
Back on the right lane, and this bodes well for Mike Scroggins. These players on the right side of the lane making big moves, and let's see if Osku can get the ball not to go high.
Osku, a good ball there.
High flush. 10-pin falls late, but it still falls. All the pressure back once again on this man right here, a.k.a. the Beast. Let's see if he's got anything left. Made a big adjustment the last time he was on this lane, and it was the right one to make. Not sure if he's going to keep moving or not.
Now he's bowling behind Osku with such a huge rev rate.
He should have moved.
Yep, and Malat's gone. And we're down to 2.
It's like bowling behind Osku Palermo is like taking off behind a jumbo jet and you're in a Cessna.
You just never know what kind of turbulence you're going to get, huh?
Just massive jet wash.
So it's going to be either Motown or the Pittsburgh Jackrabbits earning the 4th rung of the stepladder team finals. Scroggins opens up the 11th. We're down to our final 2.
Oh. Yeah! Sure, they love you when you're striking every ball. Where were you when he got 8 the first ball when this thing started? They were nowhere to be found.
7 in a row for Scroggins from Motown, putting the heat on Palermo from Pittsburgh. The Jackrabbits need a strike or this one's over. Oh, what a mixer.
That was nasty.
And we're going to the 12th.
Remember, I said that if this ended, it would probably end on this right lane. And I'm going to stick to that. I got a 50-50 chance.
Scroggins. 7 in a row. Trying to keep the heat on. Oh! The Scroggins bump.
Oh, see, four of his teammates are joining the party. Mike Scroggins, a little light switch zone here. Watch this. Oh, yeah. The 5, the 6, and the 10 go late. He's running them out, and it's definitely a party at Scroggies.
Again, the heat on Osku. He needs to strike. Can he do it? Yes, he can.
Well, at least now Osku doesn't have any traffic in front of him, just Osku traffic. He's probably pretty familiar with that kind of transition. I look for this to be an even fight now.
A high-level battle of bowling chicken. Great logo for the Motown Muscle. Scroggins again. Uh-oh. Oh!
Yeah. Uh-oh. 10 back. The frozen rope again right at the 1-2. It just falls back into the pocket. Hard to believe you could say fall back when you're pointing it up first arrow, but on a 50-foot oil pattern, throwing it pretty straight like that, I guess it's possible.
Do you have an extra scorecard I can use? I'm running out of room.
I'm out of paper.
Palermo again needs to strike, and he doesn't.
Done.
Who is moving through? The Motown Muscle and Mike Scroggins. He brought him all the way.
That was a great match. A great clash match.
Mike Scroggins carries the Motown Muscle on his back into the team stepladder finals. And so the Motown Muscle will be in action when we come back to take on the Silver Lake Adams Splitters. Come on back. I knew it was Scroggins.